you're the one that's on your way. And sometimes all we need to do is change our mindset, because you can have all of the tools in the world, all of the information in the world. But if you don't have the mindset or belief in yourself that you can make it, what's the point of all of that information that you store on shelves? It takes so much energy to doubt yourself. Why don't you put that energy to believe in yourself? Welcome to the Worthy Podcast, and I'm your host, Lolita C. If you're here, this is your sign to step into your worth, embrace your authenticity, and manifest your dream life. Your higher self is waiting. Let's transform your life together.
Today's guest is Lolita, a Toronto-based content creator, and she's built a strong personal brand, grown a tight-knit community, and even hosts the Worthy Soul podcast, where she dives deep into self-development and women's empowerment. So Lolita's big on mindset is the secret weapon in creative work, and today she's sharing exactly how she used that to fuel her success.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Thanks
Lolita.
for having me. I'm so excited about it because I feel like there's no gatekeeping here. We're here to share. We're here to talk about everything and see where that can help people.
I know that you have a lot to share around your mindset and your perspective on content in general. So I just want to just start off here and ask you how did you first get into UGC and content creation?
To be honest, UGC, I've actually heard about it years ago. It wasn't a big thing yet, and it was actually a USA based creator. She was doing her own courses about UGC, and I was very interested because I haven't heard a lot about it. And the trends, it's so important to hop on it first before everyone else, because once it becomes mainstream, there's more competition. Even though I believe there can be a lot of people, you can still stand out if you being authentic. And I don't believe in oversaturated market. If you truly passionate about something and you have your uniqueness on authenticity, it's never too late to start.
100%. I like that you found the resources, right, to get started.
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
and
You know
went
what?
after it. That's really
Sometimes
cool.
that's the tricky part with social media right now. There's so much information, and ChatGPT now, it can be overwhelming to see the amount of information. And one person is telling you, do this, and then the other person, don't do this. It's like, what do I do? So at that moment, I just decided to focus on one thing and see where UGC would bring me. And I loved making videos. So why not making videos while also getting paid for it? It's a win-win. The most challenging on the beginning was to actually create your portfolio, right? Because that's where you can pitch to other brands, or brands can come to you instead of you having to go to them. I feel like the best thing to do is just to approach them with packages, not just one single video.
Oh, I hate to interrupt, but I just
Because
asked,
it
why do you
takes the
think
same
that?
amount of energy to go after the client with just one video or the package. So why not make your clients maintaining that and having the packages instead of just having one video? So you make that effort to go to the client and say, I can make a video, but I can also add some pictures, or I can also add this or give some ideas, and then, make a great deal for them. And it's good for them because they get more content, great package, and you don't have to run after 10 clients with one videos. You can have 3 clients with packages. So I believe it's better the way it works. Based on my experience, it worked better for me.
So why do you think UGC creators don't do it? Why do you think do you think it's a better idea to offer packages instead of, for example, just one video? Do you think it's harder? Have you experienced difficulties with pitching packages instead of just one-off things?
Yeah, I believe you can pitch with one video for the client to see the quality of the work, but I believe that knowing your worth, that's why I called my podcast The Worthy Soul, because everything comes from your worth and what you believe in yourself and your skills and what you bring to the table, right? It's that question, what do you bring to the table? It's my skills, it's my time. And that's the thing. Sometimes the creators think that because it takes me 10 minutes to make that video, then I don't have to charge a lot. Well, no, because it took a lot of skills, time, effort, and investments to be able to make that video now in 10 minutes. For someone else, that one video can take an hour and a half, 2 hours. But now, because I have more experience, I can make it in less, but it doesn't mean that it has to cost less because it takes less time. It's more like a system that tells you, but I don't believe in that. I believe that if you good at what you do, you should get value for it. I believe in energy and that everything is an exchange. So, an exchange of energy is you provide the services and they give you the money for it because everything has to be equal and balanced, right? So, that's what
Yep,
I believe.
definitely, yeah.
100%.
That's the thing. You're not getting paid for your time, right? You're getting paid for your expertise, your experience. If you call a plumber, you're not calling the plumber that is new to the job and then takes 2 hours. You call the more experienced plumber that fixes the problem that I don't know, clank a wrench against a pipe and then listen in, know exactly what's going wrong, and then it's finished. Like wrap it up inside of like 2 minutes. You may be paying the same amount as you did the less experienced plumber, or even more, right? Because you're paying for the experience, right?
And I would love to clarify here too, because that beginner mindset, when we just starting something, we should like you don't even know where do you start, like how much do you charge, and like that moment of awkwardness that you don't know what your value is, what your worth is. And there's also follow friends that do the similar things, or there's always some communities, which is amazing what you guys do because you can help people to understand and guide them. Because if you don't know something, ask. You're allowed to ask. You're not alone in this. There's definitely some people that have been through there. But if one person can say that my value is $50, it doesn't mean that your value has to be 50 if you feel that's not enough for the work that you do. What I usually say is if you don't know the value you should offer to the client, what I did personally, what my coaching as well, is just feel how it feels in your body. Just say, okay, I did this video and I got paid this amount. How did it feel? Did it feel like, oh my God, that's amazing? Or it felt like, wow, that's a lot of work, but maybe over time I'll be able to increase my pay. How does it feel in your body? Does it feel right? Does it feel wrong? Do you feel comfortable or uncomfortable? If you feel comfortable, it means like you should just put tiny bit more on top of it. So it's like, you're always on that edge because we tend to undervalue ourselves, and that's natural thing. But you're valuable just because it's your energy, and your energy is sacred. User generated content, it's like a regular person picking up the product and taking their time and effort to be the face, or not even showing your face because there's something that you don't have to. But your energy is sacred and you should know your worth and see how it feels in your body. If someone doesn't value it, it just means it's not your client. That's it.
That would have been my follow-up question to that because you invited us to ask. If you don't know something, ask. So I'm putting myself in the shoes of a beginning creator. My follow-up question would have been like, how do you actually determine then your worth? How much should you charge? You're saying that it should feel right in your body, I guess. So by doing it, you then determine by your feelings, reflecting back on it, am I comfortable with it? And what you're saying is go outside of your comfort zone. Just put that little bit on top. So you're still on the edge, pushing yourself beyond that boundary. Does that sound right to you, Gloria? Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that for even beginner creators listening to this, start charging. What's the worst that can happen if you charge industry standard like $200 a video when you first start? Because what if you land a client at that? I agree with Lolita. It's like what you perceive yourself as, it shows up in your confidence when you communicate with the client, and you can close clients for how much you want to. It just comes through the confidence and how you perceive your content, and you will be surprised how many brands back that up.
There's always two silver linings here, because if you're just beginning and want to make the same amount as the person that already been in this industry for 3-4 years, well, it can happen too. But there's also that silver lining of knowing what you can offer to the client. There's always that general information of approximately how much that could be. So you can take that general, but you can still put your tweak on it. So if the general is from 150 to 250 for beginners, but you want to put 600, then there's that craziness that can be involved in that. But you don't have to go that minimal and cut everyone else. If you're gonna put $50 when you're supposed to do like 150 and 200, you're literally cutting the market and you undervaluing all of the other people. And to be honest, how I see it, if you put low price, and for me, it's like I don't see as much value in it anymore. Because if I'm going to buy something for my place, like a toaster, and I look at the different prices, I'm like, why is it so cheap? Like, maybe I'm gonna buy tiny bit more expensive, but I think it's gonna last me. Brands can even guess, why is it so cheap with her? What's the catch here? Maybe she's not
Mhm.
doing a great job, or the quality, or whatever. So the cheap is not always the best.
Yeah. Cheap isn't
Yeah.
quality and
Oh,
quality
I
isn't
love
cheap.
that. It's
Right.
definitely, it's 100%. And it comes with time. What I usually say, don't rush. Take your time becoming someone you never been before and trying to fit into this new market. We all are going to make a mistake. You cannot start something without making a mistake, and maybe by making a mistake you will figure out that this price is not for me, because I felt like I did so much, and for this much it doesn't worth it. But you have to do
Mm.
it. So instead of overthinking how much you charge and see how you feel. You always grounding that energy by actions, and by trying and figuring out, you will get to your point where you'll feel comfortable.
For that creator stuck in that analysis paralysis overthinking loop, what would you tell that creator, that's listening here that just can't take that action because they're scared or just stuck in that mindset
It's really
state?
good question, because we all been there and we still are. I feel like that's an illusion that people think that once you get to a certain level, you no longer have that fear. You just go ahead and do it because it looks so easy. But fear, it's actually an illusion. It's not real. It's something that your
Mm.
mind creates because it's unknown. And anything that's unknown, it will take as a danger because it doesn't know what to expect. And I always say, on the opposite of the fear, so that fear is on the way of growth. So if you go into the fear, if
Mhm.
you afraid of something, it means you have to go there, because that's where the growth is. I truly believe that if you want to get something in your life, watch people that achieved something. And all of them are saying that they are afraid too, but they still moving. Like, no matter what they do, they still have that fear. But they do not let that fear be on the way. They take it as the opposite. They take it as their vessel. They take it as something to motivate them. Motivation comes from your actions. You build that momentum by
Mm.
doing it. So, one common thing between all successful people is that they act. They do not just talk about it, overthink it. And even Mel Robbins, she has this rule of five, and that changed her whole life, and she even wrote the book about it. Is that she was one day in bed, she was $800,000 in debt, she had kids, she just got fired from the job, she was depressed, she was laying in her bed and didn't know what to do. So all she did, she was like, okay, she was watching on TV, was like a rocket launch, and there was like, they do the countdown. And she's like, what if I do the countdown and I'll just, launch myself and that's it. So she literally counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 without overthinking. She launched herself and started doing it with every single thing that she was doing, and she changed her life. You have that gap between your idea and before your brain starts to saying, but what if you can make it? What if you're not worthy? But what if others will see it? What about this and this? You start overthinking, and that's what stops you from taking that step. So count from 5 to 1 and just launch yourself and do one small, tiny step. That's what I would suggest. That's what I did with my podcast. I was so overwhelmed and I was walking with that idea for 1 year. I was like, oh, that would be so nice to do a podcast. It's like, okay, it's about time to do it. Imagine me being 80 years old, laying on the bed and thinking, oh, that would have been nice. What if I done that? Regret is the worst thing. But you have a chance to do it now. So just take your biggest goal and divide it by small, tiny steps and ask yourself, what can I do today to start? So the smallest thing it can be, even watch this podcast or a video. Go ahead and text someone that you see already in this field and ask them if they could give you some tips. If you want to start your podcast, go ahead and just look what kind of, microphone to get. You don't even have to buy it, but just start looking. Start doing those small steps every single day. That's gonna accumulate and it will bring you there. But you gotta do it today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow will come, it's gonna be today again. So no tomorrow.
It's the same thing as like even the early risers can back me up, like waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., right? You can't overthink it. You just have to launch yourself out of bed, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're getting out because you're going to start overthinking, right? About, okay, maybe it's more comfier in my bed or, do I truly want to go to the gym this morning? And you're just going to start overthinking. And that's a really good point there. You got to launch yourself.
Just launching, no other choice. You just launch and that's it. And then you'll figure out as you go. I'm sure you guys heard it so many times. I love to watch interviews of people that already made it, can back up whatever they say, because it's one thing when you say something, it's the other thing if you actually live by it. If you say, I want to manifest this and this is how you guys do it, but you don't have it, then I'm like, then why don't you it's just a matter of action. And it's that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And don't think that it's too late or like, I don't have everything. Start with what you have, where you are, and that's more than enough. If people made it from zero to millionaires, trust me, you can make it. There's space for you in this industry. Because if you have this seed in your mind, that means you have enough energy for it. And that means that there's people that need what you have to offer. So it's not just you thinking about it randomly. If you have it in your mind, if you're watching this, that means you're interested in this. That means give yourself a shot. Like, why not? It takes so much energy to doubt yourself. Why don't you put that energy to believe in yourself, you know?
Mm, yeah. And it's like the same thing to go back to that point of fear is an illusion. It's so cool how you put that. At the end of the day, everything's an illusion, right? Like the only thing that's not an illusion is us talking together over this podcast, right? So it's like everything's an illusion. Understand that fear is an illusion, but on the other side, abundance and your goals are an illusion as well. So we have the power as human beings to choose. Do we want to focus on the bad illusion, the fear, or do we want to focus on the abundant illusion about where we want to get to, right? And it's literally the power of your focus and it will manifest into your reality on
That's
what you focus
gold.
on.
I love
right?
it. Power of focus and failure and like fear, it's actually false evidence that appears real. So that's literally what it stands for. It's false evidence that appears real, because if you truly start to think, why are you afraid of it? You start asking yourself and you're like, where did I get it from? Those limiting beliefs that come in your mind, they're not yours. They were programmed into you by society, your environment. That's why it's so important to be surrounded by people that truly can help you with that, or that already in that industry they can open that perspective. And I totally agree, Gloria. Focus, whatever you focus on, growth. Literally, that's your power and power of your energy. And I know it's easy to say, it's like, yeah, just focus on positive and be positive all the time. No, you don't have to be positive all the time, but you should see your failure, it's not a failure. You learned something from it. That's it. It's not a failure, it's a lesson. So if you did a mistake, if client didn't like the video, if you didn't get the clients but you sent 200 emails, it doesn't mean you have to stop. It just means you have to change something that can work. It comes to me the phrase about the light bulb. The guy who created that, he's like, I didn't make 100 mistakes. I just found 100 ways that didn't work before I found the one that did. So it's just a matter of trying to find what truly works for you. A failure, it's not, for me, it's like failure when you're not trying, because then you will fail for sure. But if you try, there's a chance that you can win. But if you don't try, you'll fail anyways. So why don't give a chance, you know? Why not? Why not? So many people did it. Why can't you?
Yeah. And I love that point that you had of like the roadblock is an answer, right? The roadblock that you're going through, you're supposed to go through it. I love the quote, the obstacle is the way. Lean into the fear because it's fearful for you for a reason, but maybe a year down the road of working, that's not a fear of yours anymore. The problems you're struggling with a year ago, they're like ants to you now. They were huge, like skyscrapers, but now they're ants. The problems don't get better. We just get better at
Yeah,
solving them,
exactly.
right?
It's the book comes to my mind, Brianna West, The Mountain Is You. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of it. Yeah, it's such a powerful
That,
book. You guys can check out. And Brianna, she's talking about, I even have her book, The Pivot Year. I love it so much. Every single day you read one page for the whole year for 365 days, and it just gives you that new perspective. Like she was talking about the mountain, and the mountain is you. You're the one that's on your way. And sometimes all we need to do is change our mindset, because you can have all of the tools in the world, all of the information in the world. But if you don't have the mindset or belief in yourself that you can make it, what's the point of all of that information that you store on shelves? What's the point of reading 100 books a year if you're not actually using it in your life? That's where the biggest shift started for me, when I started actually applying what I know, not just thinking I'm so smart. It's so nice for your ego, by the way. It's like, I know so much. It's like, I've done so many courses, but they don't work. This course is not good. Like, all of them are good. It's just you not being able to comprehend that information and believe in yourself, because your brain blocks it away from you because it thinks that it's dangerous to go into that fear. Because what it requires growth. It requires to get out of the comfort zone. It requires you to start doing things that you never done before. If you want to live unconventional life, you got to start doing unconventional things. You cannot expect doing the same things and different results. That's delusional, right? So if you want to have different results, analyze yourself. If I'm in this industry in UGC and I've tried everything, it's not working, it means you haven't tried everything. If you were to try everything, you would have made it. So just find the ways.
At the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, it was hard for me to believe myself as an entrepreneur, like a successful woman. I remember this quote by an old mentor. He told me, outwork the self belief, right? You don't believe yourself now, but you can once you start taking action. You need to have that concept in your mind of outworking the self doubt so we can obtain the self belief as we go along. Does that make sense?
I truly believe people can change. I truly believe it because I did. And I know that embodiment, that's the secret to everything. When you embody that version of yourself, and you know that fake it till you make it phrase, in some way you have to, for a certain time, you have to do certain things that not really into your identity, part of your identity, but over time you start doing it with ease because that becomes who you are. And that's the secret to it all. You think of that version of yourself and actually use ChatGPT. It's going to help you a lot. Use that technology. It's going to help you. Just go ahead and say, this is where I'm at. I want to be a UGC creator. My future version, like in 5 years, is doing to make it, to make UGC as a full time. Like, what kind of mindset does she have? What beliefs does she have? Describe me a day in the life of that person that is UGC creator doing it full time. What kind of beliefs do they have? What things do they do in the day? And just go ahead and read through it. There's so many ChatGPT prompts, and just start doing it today. It doesn't mean like if you want to become a millionaire and that millionaire is going shopping Louis Vuitton, it doesn't mean you gotta go and shop that. But what it means is that maybe they do in the gym every day, because physical health, it's so important because it gets through your energy and it helps you to get the ideas and those downloads, as I call. Or maybe what kind of limiting beliefs they don't have anymore. I don't think they doubt themselves. So, are you doubting yourself? What kind of things can you do to stop doubting yourself? Start making those changes today instead of thinking that one day I'm going to become that person. What are you doing today to become that person? It starts with small things in order to shift, because what you do today becomes your tomorrow, becomes your future. It's not somewhere in the future it's going to change. It's going to change if you're going to start doing something today. Yeah.
Speaking of change, you said something very interesting before. You said that you believe that people can change because you yourself have changed. I think that's what your words were. Would you like to get into how you've changed? Do you
Yeah.
want to talk about it?
That was actually, thanks for the question. That was a very big moment in my life. It actually happened about 3 years ago. I'm an international student in Canada, and I was actually in the medical field. It was a different life that I had, but I realized that at that point of my life, I didn't like my relationships. I didn't like my surroundings. I didn't like my job. I felt like I was living someone else's life. The system tells us what will make us happy. And what will make you happy is good job, a house, a car, all of those things, like American dream style. But then once you get there, you're like, well, but something is missing. I don't feel fulfilled. I had the like Monday scaries, it's like Sunday, you have that one day and you're like looking forward to another Sunday already. And I had that feeling, it's like, I don't want to live like that for the rest of my life. I don't want to ask somebody for 2 weeks a year to go on a vacation and to ask someone else if I can go and see my family or if I cannot. I love freedom. I value freedom. So I didn't have it back then. And I've decided to change. And that change was accumulating over time. Sometimes all we need is just to make a decision. And that one decision takes a second, but it takes years for us to get to that decision. And I've decided that, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And what do those people know who are happy, fulfilled, and they have the career, the freedom? What do they know that I don't? Because they definitely know something that I don't. So I started asking myself and asking everyone else around me. I ended the relationships. I moved to another city on my own. I studied the new environment. I was scared. I wasn't like, okay, I'm done. No, I was scared. But I know that at that moment, that was the biggest growth of my life. It's when you hit that rock bottom, it's beautiful because you know that from there, the only way is up, because you can push upwards and you know that I had to come to this moment because otherwise I would be in my comfort zone. The universe and energies, it's like pushing you sometimes to the edge for you to change something. It shows you that, you know what, maybe there's certain things that you need to change here instead of ignoring and living with it. Everything is a choice. Do not go to that victim mentality and think life happens to me. No, life happens for you. Everything is for you. Even that rock bottom helped me a lot because it changed my life. And I started surrounding myself with people who are in this industry. I started looking for some answers and see what are the ways that I can start making money online. What are the ways that I can change my life, and what do I want? What makes me happy? Like truly, what makes you fulfilled? When was the last time you felt joy? What do you do for yourself in a day? Those small tiny questions can help you to understand what you do in your life, because I feel like society tells us who we meant to be and supposed to be. And we get to that point and we're like, but that's not what I want. But I don't know what I want. It's like that. stage of life. But that's beautiful because you start waking up to see it's like you guys, you woke up at a certain point and realized I can't do like everyone else. I feel like I want this and I see this vision, and maybe not everyone else sees this. That's my life, and I believe in myself and I go and do it. Not everyone supported me. Not everyone said, "Yeah, great job. Go ahead and do this social media instead of medical field." It'll be like, "You want to quit this job and do this?" You know?
Mhm. That's a big struggle a lot of creators are struggling with right now is family and friends and everyone they've known around their hometown just not supporting their journey with UGC and social media. What encouragement you tell those creators right now that are listening?
Honestly, I'm not gonna give you the cliches like, "Oh, don't listen what they say." I would ask you to put yourself in their shoes and understand that when you change, it means they have to change as well. It means that it's change in their life too. And they doing it from love, not that they want you to fail. They just don't really understand that. I feel like we put, especially on our parents, expectations that they have to understand everything that we do. They have to do this and this, it's like they living their life for the first time as well. And if they don't really understand something, try to understand that it's something new for them, and they not fully understanding it doesn't mean that they not supporting you. And I have a mentor myself because I believe that I cannot be a mentor for someone else if I don't have a mentor myself. She told me such an interesting thing. She told me, don't take it personal with your mom. And I was like, what? She's like, don't take it personal with your parents, with your mom, with your friends. Don't take it personal. And it clicked to me that sometimes we think that because they tell us that it's because they don't believe in us, but it's actually because they don't fully understand it, they don't fully comprehend it, and they doubting themselves that they wouldn't be able to do it. And there will be people that will tell you, don't do it, you will fail. Just know that sometimes what happens is they just projecting their insecurities towards you. They don't believe in themselves. That's why they tell you that. So just a matter of knowing that you believe in yourself. You know that you have that vision for a reason, and that's more than enough. You don't need to seek everyone else's approval. You don't need to control everyone else's opinion. You just say, I allow myself to live the life that I want, and I allow others to believe and not believe in myself. Let go that control. Again, Mel Robbins, let them theory. Let them not believe in me. Let them feel whatever they feel. Let them misunderstand me. I don't need to worry about their opinion. Yes, I can listen to them, but it's only up to me and the decision that I'm making because I'm the one who's going to be with that partner. I'm the one who's going to do that job. You always have a choice. Because if you say that, oh, they didn't allow me because of them, no, no, no. They do not have that control. You are only doing that by allowing it. And you always have a choice. And you have a choice by standing your ground and saying, no, this is my decision. This is what I believe in. And you have a full right to say that, as they have full right for their opinion. And separating that will help you to come with peace.
It reminds me of Stoicism, like that philosophy of Stoicism, right? Like letting release that control. Stop trying to control external factors that you logically cannot control, right? You only can control yourself. You can't control their opinions, their thoughts about you, their gossip about you, the fact that they don't understand, the fact that they may not support you yet, or maybe they do have support, but it's just unclear, right? It's like we only can control ourselves. All of these external forces we can't control. Why are we trying to take on that burden when it's not even our burden to take on
to
in the
that.
first place?
The biggest example that I can give with this one, it's basically the universal law, as above so below, as within so without. So basically we creating our reality ourselves, our words, reactions, emotions, everything. And when we trying to change someone else or something else out of our control, it's like, I don't know, I have a smudged lipstick and I look in the mirror trying to fix it in the mirror. I'm trying to fix my lipstick in the mirror. It's not gonna change it until I actually like do this. And then the reflection in the mirror is gonna change, right? So same in life. When you're trying to change everyone around you and control everyone and want them to believe in you, it's the world is just a reflection of your inner world. If someone is triggering you in a way, if someone is telling you something that they don't believe in you, it's just a mirror of your inner doubt. Do you truly believe in yourself? Because if you were, you wouldn't really take their words so close to your heart, but they just show you. They are there for you to actually go inwards and ask yourself, why did his words trigger me so much? Why do I feel this much pain when they told me about this? Maybe because I don't truly believe in myself that I can make it. Do I believe in my skills? Do I believe that I can make it through all of this because there's already so many people and all of those beliefs? If I have, again, the example that I saw recently on social media, because you can use social media for your own good, guys, not just for like scrolling. I have like a separate page that I just follow motivational or like stoicism and all of the psychology stuff. And I'm scrolling, but I'm learning as well. So I was scrolling and there was a guy and he said, imagine you have, I don't know, you have black hair, but someone tells you, you have such ugly pink hair. And you're like, but I don't have a pink hair. And he's like, it's so ugly. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I think this guy is crazy. You wouldn't take it so close to you, right? But if someone would tell you your black hair, I don't like it, and you're like, oh, really? Why? I kind of like it. Is something wrong with it? Or they would say, oh my gosh, I love it so much. You're like, oh, you love it? Ah, it means that it's good. So neither are good. No matter if they praise you or they critique you, it doesn't matter because if you like it, that's what matters. So if you like it and someone tells you that you have a pink hair, you're like, I don't care what you think. I think you're crazy because I know it's good. So it's just a matter of knowing yourself. That's the main thing of not allowing others to affect your opinion and to believe in yourself. And if someone is doubting you, it's to believe in yourself, have that inner strength to know that no matter what you guys say, I know my worth and I know that it's good because I believe in it and I don't need your approval or your praise. I do it for myself and I see the value that I bring to people.
For sure. I love that. And I think that's so powerful for a creator to understand. When these external forces are going against the current, they can have that backup belief, that they can fall back on, deep rooted in themselves, right? And that's very. And earlier on, you mentioned, like, I don't want to breeze by this because it was so powerful. You mentioned the victim mentality and we have to overcome that. But there's UGC creators or creators in general listening to this that don't even know what a victim mentality is. And maybe they don't even know they're struggling with it right now. Right. So my question to you is, did you struggle with that victim mentality? What did you struggle with around being a victim? Right. And how did you overcome that? And if not, what do you see common around in the UGC
Yeah, I'm
or
so
content
glad
creators?
that you mentioned that because that's such a powerful topic that actually I praise by because victim mentality, I would say like 90% of population is in victim mentality and like this is just part of the system. And of course, I'm still in that victim mentality at certain points, but I catch myself now. And what is victim mentality? It's like life happens to me. Someone else's fault. This happened at work and I'm just so mad. Change your job. If you don't like it, you have the power to change it. Or in a relationship, you constantly complaining about it. He's doing this. I don't think it's the right thing for me, the way he acts towards me. Change it. Say something or change within yourself. Why are you allowing this in your life? Because it's not someone else's. There will always be toxic people in your life, but you're the one allowing them to come to you. Same with energy vampires, right? It's like, oh, that person drains me. That's crazy. You doing this. I know I don't like energy vampires. And I was like, you put your neck out there because you sacrifice yourself for someone else. Or you waiting for someone to save you. You're waiting, it's so nice for someone else to not believe in you, because then you have an excuse to not go and do things. You have an excuse. Don't have money right now. I don't have time right now. Of course, that's very nice to be in that victim mentality, because then you don't have to do anything. But if you switch it, I believe that you can always find time for things that truly you value, that you prioritize. And it's all about that delayed gratification. You know that you're in victim mentality when you put responsibilities on others and think that someone else has to come and tell you what to do. But sometimes it requires sacrifice. If you guys right now, whoever's listening, 9 to 5, and you still transitioning to this UGC career, it will require a bit of sacrifice. It will require a bit of getting out of the comfort zone. Don't wait for someone else to fund you, to give you money for you to start UGC. Start now. Start with what you have. What I don't like in my life, I'm becoming aware and being so honest with myself like I've never been in my life. I look in my life right now, I don't like my relationships, I don't like my job. Stop avoiding it and stop looking through it. Ignoring it's not going to solve it. So take responsibility for your life. And responsibility, it's not something negative. It's actually freedom that you will get with it. And that's actually a limiting belief, that people think that with success comes the limitation because you won't have enough time, or, there's certain fears that can be behind it. The biggest thing with victim mentality is that you're not taking responsibility for your life. Be disciplined with yourself and love yourself while doing that. You don't have to scold yourself or blame yourself. Imagine you're your best friend. And what advice would you give to your best friend if she would be in the situation that you're in right now? You want to switch to UGC, but you're doing your 9 to 5 and don't feel like you have enough time. How can I make this time? Instead of thinking, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the skills, I don't know how to do this. Take a deep breath in and out. How can I learn this? How can I change this? How can I make this career power of focus? You focusing on the problem or on solution. You cannot focus on both at the same time. So if you have a problem, focus on, how do I solve this? How do I make this possible? How do I resolve this issue? You're wasting your energy by thinking about your problems. How about wasting your energy on solution and how to get out of them, And then it will move you towards the creator side, where you can actually start creating and solving instead of contemplating.
And that's such a beautiful concept of abundance. Altogether, it's abundance. And even around the victim mentality, I call it a caged mindset. We have a caged mindset and an abundance mindset, right? A caged mindset, like you mentioned, it's like, okay, this is impossible. I can't do this. I don't have enough time. That's a tricky one, right? I don't have enough time. Of course you have enough time, right? I can't, so many like of those like limited words that are limiting you, right? That you're speaking into existence. But outside of that cage, when you break out, that's when you're asking, how can I? This is possible. How can I make it possible? My favorite one is, what if it turns out better
Yes, I
than I
love
could
that
possibly
one.
imagine?
So good. Because it is true. You never know until you actually try. So you think, well, what if it's not going to work? But what if it's going to work? What if you become a UGC creator and make a lot of money doing things that you love? What if it's going to work out? But you will never know if you don't try. So it's up to you, because for me, it's better to live with the failure than the regret. And again, I don't believe in failure. It's so important to see how you define your words and what you define the success is, because I feel like people will only feel successful once they reach, I don't know, 10K a month or whatever the goal they have. But that's so, it takes some time to get there. So what I truly believe in is, for me, success is becoming 1% better every single day. If I became a bit better than yesterday, learned something new today, that's a success for me. So it's so much easier to go through life like this with the definition of success, rather than I'm only successful once I have this big thing. But how do I get to this big thing? How do I get motivated to get there if I think that I'm failure here and only I'm successful when I get here? So it's just a matter of being that, that inner critic within ourselves can get really tough. Like sometimes you think you're doing well, it's like it's not enough. It's not enough. Like you didn't do everything that you're supposed to do today. Yet I did 10 things, but the 11th thing I didn't have time, and I'm like, no, it's a failure. So it's just a matter of creating that, space for yourself where you can grow. For the flower, you need to water it, you need to give a bit of sunshine. You cannot just put it in the cage and not even ask how it's doing. So, did you ask yourself, what do you need today? How can you make your day better? How can you help yourself today? It's like those small things. And guys, I'm not here to judge anybody because I'm still figuring out as well. But there are certain things that helping me to get there, and I'm still figuring out, and we're not perfect, and perfectionism, it's a thief of joy. It's another thing. It's like I don't have the skills, I don't know how to make it perfect. Just do it, and you will get there eventually. As I said with my podcast, I was waiting for the perfect one when it's going to be really nice, but then I was like, okay, I believe that the value of my words are so much more important than the picture that I'm going to give you. So maybe the quality right now are not the best, but my words can change someone else's lives. So maybe your videos that you're making right now, or the voiceovers, or whatever you want to do, maybe it's not perfect right now, but some companies still need you. They still need you to make that video. They still need your energy. They still need whatever you bring to the table. And they're not looking for perfect. I feel like we are in the era of Aquarius, and Aquarius is what? It's authenticity. It's driving force of being authentic and who you truly are. And by you being instead of pretending, it's what's gonna help you to get there. But in order to be authentic, you have to know yourself. So maybe it's time to remember who you are and what you truly love and enjoy. That will help you enjoy the journey instead of just waiting for that one thing. Because after that one thing, it's gonna come another thing, it will never be a finished result.
Yeah. And I think that analogy of you mentioning like watering the plant, I think that's beautiful because we need to water the plant to turn into, or water like the bud to grow into the tree. At the same time, offering a different perspective. How do we even start growing in the first place? How does the bud even come to life? And it goes back to taking off the rose colored glasses and looking at your situation for how it is. A lot of people, they don't get out of debt because they can't even admit to themselves that they're $30,000 in debt. A lot of people don't make a change because they cannot even admit to themselves that they're in a rut, they're in a problem. I've had conversations with people in the past that can't even admit to me that they don't like where they are. Deep down they don't, but they can't even admit it to someone else because their ego or something else is holding them back. So before that bud grows, we have to plant the seed, you know. Something needs to change, and you have to understand that yourself, that something needs to change. Otherwise you can't. It's taking off the rose-colored glasses. You got to look at things for how they are, and it's so uncomfortable. But that's how you grow too. That's how you plant the
Yeah,
seeds.
exactly. I love that. And for me, the seeds, it's like delayed gratification that our generation is struggling because we got used to having everything in a second. You don't even have to leave the house. Everything comes to you. So comfy, so nice. And it comes to me demure and mindful, It's like everything is here. You don't have to change. That delayed gratification is actually what is going to help you in the long term. There's a wheel in coaching we usually use as a wheel of things that, wheel of life, we call it. So basically, there's sections of every single thing that you have in your life, like friendship, career, health, entertainment, fulfillment. And you just fill it out to see where you stand in your life. There's a scale from 1 to 10. And with that, it can help you figure out what is the first thing that you can start working on. Because personally, what I was struggling with is that I had so many ideas, I had so many courses, I had so many things going on in my life that it felt overwhelming. What helped me was to focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, I have a lot of things right now. What are the two top things that I'm struggling the most with? What is the thing I don't like in my life? For me, that was career and relationship at that moment. I was like, okay, so what can I do to change that? What are the things that would make it to 10? What are the things that would help me to love my life, to love the things that I do? If you don't know what to do in your life, go back to your childhood. What did you enjoy when you were a kid? What kind of things did you do? Because when we were kids, we don't have those limiting beliefs. And the kid would say, I want to be an astronaut. And you're like, great job. It's like amazing. If an adult would say it, it's like, are you crazy? Like, do you even know what it takes? Just try to remember what actually brings you joy. And the thing that I can tell you to help you understand what you want to do in life, I would ask you, what would you do in your life if money wasn't a problem? It's like money wasn't a problem, everything's taken care of, you don't even have to think about it. What would your day look like? Like, you would go on a vacation, not work, but we all know that people that did that, they still at some point was like, okay, but what do I do now? So what would you do if money wasn't even a problem? So go from there and see what kind of things would you do. Because when I ask myself right now, that's exactly what I would do. I would be coaching people. I would do social media and content creation, UGC. Like, I would do this because I'm creative soul and I love it. Is it easy? No. But it's so much harder for me to work for someone else's dream and for someone else. Choose your heart. So, yeah.
Is this what your future looks like? Do you think? First of all, thank you for being so honest with us about how you change, right? Because I don't take that as a given personally. So thank you for being so open. You said that you wanted that freedom. Do you feel like the freedom was the bridge that led you to working for yourself, not inside of a 9 to 5, not inside of the medical field, but working for yourself, for example, in UGC and content creation? Do you feel like have you arrived at where you were going to? Are you still chasing after something? What does your future look like?
I really love this question. I feel like that's a human nature to always run towards something. And I feel like we never arrive if we don't allow ourselves to arrive. At first, I was working 6 days a week at the office, and then I started cutting it off to now me doing once a week in the office, but because I need to maintain the license and everything. But I enjoy it now because it's just once a week and I love it. Or sometimes I do it once a month. I'm freelancing in that way. That is my side hustle now, my 9 to 5. And this is my main thing. I'm still in a journey, but what changed is my mindset towards it. I see now as I am becoming someone, and I love who I'm becoming with this journey. I love that I wasn't afraid to quit my 9 to 5, that stability, that security, and I decided to do something that not everyone would do. To arrive, I would need that fulfillment and happiness, but again, it's an illusion. It's like you ask me, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll arrive. No, I think we'll all arrive every single day. Just waking up and knowing that we're alive, we have another chance. Every day, it's like a new life. You arrived because you do not have guaranteed tomorrow. Told you that you're gonna wake up tomorrow. It would be nice, but not everyone does. I asked a very successful man, what kind of mindset do you have? Like, what do you believe in? And he's like, I live every day as it's my last day. And what would you live if that was your last day? Would you feel like you arrived? What is arrived for you? For me, when I hear this, it comes to me like fulfillment, loving what I do. It's that freedom of time, location, and I can do whatever I want in life. But that's an illusion again, because you will get there and like, okay, but that would be nice to have this now and this and this. It will always be something more. What is your enough? What is your I've arrived? I believe I've arrived by realizing that there's no arrival moment, there's no point that you will arrive. And just know that today, because I'm already trying, I'm already doing, I know I won't have any regrets when I'm old because I'm doing everything that comes to my crazy mind. Sometimes you're like, what is this? But you're doing it. I believe that my arrive is something that comes every single day when I'm pursuing the things that I love. That's my arrived, because I'm not afraid to chase after my dreams, and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable anymore, because I was afraid of that. Honestly, like, if you would talk to me 6 months ago, I don't think I would be sitting with you and talking like this, because it's so easy to put that mask on and think you have to be someone else. But by you guys sharing your story, your perspectives, and me sharing mine, can help someone else because they wish they could be in your place right now. And there's so many people that would love to do what you guys do now. And we sometimes underappreciate ourselves and think that we want more because there's something more, but someone else is looking at us in the same way and thinking, oh my God, I want to be that, you know? And once they arrive here, they realize there's someone else there. And it's like never ending. So just, see what's your arrival, and including me, like, I don't have everything figured out, but at least I'm honest about it. So just be honest with yourself.
I think you mentioned this before the podcast, that something you want to do more and that you're doing now is helping other people, other creators specifically, with their journey, with what they're struggling with. You said that you want to provide the help that you wish you had when starting out. How exactly does that look? Is that something you want to keep doing? Is that something you're doing right now? Right.
Thanks for that question. Yes, I truly believe that by being even one step ahead, you can already show that step to someone else. So you don't have to be 100 steps ahead to start showing someone or teaching someone or helping someone. But also, I know with coaching and mindset is everything. I've just seen the shift that I had in my life when I knew a lot of information, but I wasn't able to apply it because I was afraid. I was afraid to show myself. I was afraid to post talking stories because I was afraid who's gonna think about me. So I believe that a lot of it is the mindset. It's like 80% mindset and 20% action, as Tony Robbins said. And that's literally what he said. I love his mindset because it's true. You can have everything and know everything. Why there's so many singers with a beautiful voice but they not singers? Because yeah, it is a competitive industry, but it's also a matter of believing in yourself and pushing and doing a lot of things. And it's just a matter of you having that mindset. That's my goal, to share the mindset that helped me to step out of that 9 to 5 and start chasing what I want. Sometimes with our ego and limiting beliefs, we cannot see ourselves. That different perspective can have a bit of light on it. You're like, oh, I didn't even think that. Because sometimes I can talk to someone and I can hear the limiting beliefs. And I'm like, but why do you think that? They're like, well, I don't know. Isn't that what everyone thinks? No. So it's just a matter of spreading that message that everything is possible. I believe in you and I believe you can achieve what you want. And all you need is just to believe in yourself. It's all within you, and you just have to allow yourself to be successful. Allow yourself to step into that version of yourself. You don't have to chase all of this fame, likes, or comments, but if that's what you want, that's fine too. Don't feel bad about it. It's like, do you what makes you happy. And that if you do it authentically, people will come to you. People love authenticity because by you being brave, you allow others to be brave. By you being yourself, you allow others to be yourself. And that's the beautiful thing. You chasing your dreams, you don't even have to do anything. Others see it and they want to do that too. There's no major secret because it's all about you. You came to this world as a soul in this body to take care of yourself, to take care of your dreams. If that would be a TV show and someone else is watching your life, Would they believe that you're chasing your dream? Would they believe that you're doing everything that you can in your power? Or they would say, she's slacking. She's not doing everything. She could have gone to the gym. She could have done this and this. Do everything that you can in your power, but do it. Just do it. And have that mindset of, I can try. What's the worst thing that can happen? I'll go to my 9 to 5. It's going to be there always. And that's it.
Is understanding what's the best possible scenario and the worst possible scenario. And sometimes the worst possible scenario isn't the worst. It's not even that bad. But yeah, like me and Alex, I could tell Alex has really enjoyed this as well. Everything you mentioned so far is so gold, so good. I'm taking notes on my phone in the background. We've really enjoyed your time so far on this podcast. I'd love to just like wrap it up with the final question I like to ask most guests. What would you tell that aspiring UGC creator that's listening to this right now? What would you tell them like right now? You know, what's that one liner you tell them?
What are you waiting for? If you're waiting for someone to tell you, to push you, to come to your house and say that you have to start, nobody's coming. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is doing it because everyone else is thinking of themselves. It's time that you start thinking about yourself, what you want, and what you see your life will look like if you will start acting in 1 year from now. If you're going to stay and not do anything, what would your life would look like in 5 years? Where would you be? Would you be happy with your life? Or if you start making small, tiny actions today, how would your life look like in 5 years? It's going to accumulate every single day. And the book that I would love to offer you guys, it's Atomic Habits, James Clear. Really good book. If you want to start changing your life, it's like small, tiny habits that accumulate over time. Because every single step that you're making, ask yourself, are they bringing you closer to the goal or are they taking you away from the goal? Because there's no middle ground. So that would be my thing to leave you guys with, is just ask if every action is bringing you towards it and stop waiting. Just do it.
That's such a powerful concept. Each action is compounding.
We love
right? That's so
compounding.
awesome. Yeah, so it was wonderful having you on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys for I appreciate what you guys do, and that you're not just thinking of yourself, but you're also helping other creators and creating this beautiful community, because you become who you surround yourself with. Thank you guys for your time. That was amazing. You can find me on Instagram. I have my own podcast and I'm on YouTube as well. It's Lolita C, Lolita with SII. And you can find my podcast, The Worthy Soul. I discuss a lot of things there, especially about mindset, becoming better 1% every single day, limiting beliefs, the power of your thoughts, and how to manifest the life. And I also do the coaching to help you believe in yourself and see what holds you back, because I'm not just a coach, I also do content creation, and I see the mindset that it actually takes to get there and get the videos that I have 10 million views and I have thousands of views. It all depends on what your goal is, but my main message is that you're worthy of who you are. You don't have to do anything. Just believe in yourself. You don't have to change anything. You just have to remember who you are. That's it. That was very powerful. And thank you guys so much for sharing your thoughts and having me here. It was truly an honor.
Thank you so much, guys. That's Lolita. Definitely go follow her on Instagram, go connect with her. Again, thanks for your time. And
thank you so much, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on the Worthy Podcast. Keep shining, stay true, and remember, you are always worthy. Hit subscribe and join me on this journey, because your highest self is waiting. See you next time.